Hello and welcome to Talking About the Assignment, It's My Life. So this is my example. This is my Google slide presentation. So I'm going to take you back to how we get to this point. So first, we did our brainstorm, right? We brainstormed 15 major events, and then from there, we narrowed it down. Well, I guess I did 22. But from there, we narrowed it down to our top 8. Then we did our pre-writing. So we did a little summary of each event. So I wrote 8 different summaries. You were supposed to do 8 to 10. And I chose the 5 that I would most like to share. So the next step is getting that into a presentation. Now we can use Google Slides. I recommend using sites like Slidesmania, Slides Carnival, Slides Go, maybe even Canva to find that beautiful background, and you don't have to spend a lot of time creating something that you feel good about. So let's see what's here in Creative. Now, Slidesmania is run with ads, so I just have to say like, nope, don't need that, and it's going to take me to those free creative templates. And then I just have to find one that I say, ooh, I like the way this looks. So maybe, oh, see, there's the one that I had used. Let's use Daisy, because why not? So I click on it, and then it's going to show me the Daisy Playful Groovy slides for PowerPoint, Canva, and Google Slides. If I scroll down, I can get a preview just by clicking through to see what all of those slides might look like. And I can see that it's still loading, so it's not going to show me right now. I can download for PowerPoint, but since we are Google District, we're going to open in Google Slides. So it's going to say, hey, here's the template. So again, I can go through and just make sure, is this what I want to use? Okay. Then I say use template, and it's making a presentation for me. And I guess this one has add-ons, so I'm just going to close that. And then from here, I can use all of these slides, or what I have done, let's see, like this one has a picture and this one has a picture. So maybe I'll drag and drop those together and drag this a little higher. Where's our table of contents? I think it was right there. Yeah, table of contents. That. Yeah, let's have the koala first. So then maybe I'll select the koala and the cats. I can do a Control-C to copy those 2 slides, and then Control-V to paste them back in. And then you just have the work of like, hey, I'm going to modify this to be, oh gosh, it's letter by letter. Ooh, I wouldn't have used this one then. That's good to know. But I can go through and say like 1 is going to be my first flight. 2 is going to be the one time I got detention. And I can also like select a text box and say delete, right? Because I don't really need it. Can backspace. Oh, I almost did the wrong one. There we go. Let's see, what was 3? Job fair in Minnesota. And 4, adopting my cat crossword. So these aren't spectacular titles, but I'm also using our planning document. So I have the event, the image, and then the song that's going to go with that. So let's just go ahead and go to number 1. I'm going to use first flight. So actually, let's copy my narrative here. And I'm going to say first flight as the title. I might need to modify the size and position of this. Same for this one. And we'll just paste that in there. Maybe change this sizing a little bit. I can also just use the plus button until it gets big enough. right? Then when I go back to my planning sheet, my image is going to be an airplane wing because I don't have a picture of me when I'm 14 and on a plane. So if I select the image, you see that I can replace the image. I can also right click and find the same thing. I think for sake of just ease, I'm going to replace the image up here so you can see that I can upload from camera. I can use the actual camera on the laptop or Chromebook. I can use a URL. I can use Drive and Photos or Stock and Web. And I really like using Stock and Web because it's like searching the internet, right? So I'm going to say flying in airplane and just see what comes up. Yeah, so if I like this image, I can just select that, and I think I'm maybe in the way here. Nope. Okay. There used to be like an insert button or something like that, but I have that image there, and if I'm happy with that, golden. So again, let's do the next one. This, I'm just going to put in detention. So to review, I click on the image, I click on replace image, and I can choose, like if you have a picture from your own story, you can upload that from your computer. I'm still going to go to Stock and Web, so I'm going to look for detention. I might need to, okay. I was going to say, I also see some prison there, so maybe I would have been better to modify my search to say school detention. But I can click this and see, do I want that one? Maybe, oh no, you can't see anyone. I can see more. And maybe we'll just use that image. All right, so that is how you insert images. Now to insert the music. So I have YouTube music here, and you can see I've already used some of this. I go back to my planning document, and I am going to be looking for I Believe I Can Fly, which I've looked for before, so there it is. When I find it, I click the play button. If you're using YouTube music, you might end up having to use, or like wait for the ad to be over. But I just click on those three dots, and then when I choose the share button, it's going to give me this link. So that's what I'm going to copy. I'm going to go back to my slides, and if I insert a video, I have the opportunity to paste that link there, hit enter, I choose the video, and say insert. Playing. And I actually don't want to use the whole song, so I'm going to let it go for a little bit. And I can say use current, and I actually think I missed it by a second. So if I'm listening to the song and I just want the chorus, I clicked that use current, and that gave me that time. And then I can let it keep going. I'll move myself out of the way here. So if I just want that portion, I can say use current time, and then it's just going to play from that 46-second mark to the 1 minute and 3-second mark. The other thing I can do, instead of play on click, I can play automatically. And I'm seeing that I actually put this on the detention slide instead of the first flight, but that's okay. I think I can just copy my video here and put it in first flight and just make sure that I move this kind of out of the way. If I click on format options, I can see that everything is exactly as I want it to be. So let's go to detention, and I will actually delete this video and go back to my planning sheet, and I need to find I Knew You Were Trouble. So I Knew You Were Trouble, and it's going to find me a couple of versions. So I click the play button, and here's my ad. So we'll probably cut this part out. Okay, so I've paused the song. I'm going to click the three dots again and go to that share option. It gives me the link. I copy that, go back to my slides, make sure I'm in the right slide. So detention, that's what I want to do. I'm going to insert a video. I need to change the URL and say search for that one, and this is the one I want. So I say insert, and she's going to start singing. So I'm just going to wait for the chorus. So I think that's where the course is going to start, and I click use current. And I click use current time when I'm happy with that. And the other thing I want to do is make sure that it plays automatically. Okay, so once I have put all of my writing, because I didn't do that for the second one, right? So I need my narrative in here. Probably make that a little bit bigger. But now when I click on slideshow, it's automatically going to start playing. Or not. Maybe I need to go back. So if that happens, I click on it. I click on the format options. Oh, it does say manual. So I need to make sure that it plays automatically, and that will save. I think that was one thing that didn't copy over. And this time it works. So then I'm ready to present. I have my image, I have my music, and I have my narrative. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions or need support with anything, please let me know.